Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of podcast named Deferred. I am your host, Seven. With me is my partner in crime, the man who's been around baseball so long he remembered when they were still made out of rocks. Craig, hold on, wait. Why is this still? There we go. All right, Craig, how you doing today? Can you hear me? All right, we'll pull him back. We're going to get some issues fixed there. Ando is with us today. Man, how you doing?
You know what? With as stressful as this wild card round is, I got to say I'm glad that my team doesn't have to deal with that this season or at all, because the Mariners have never made it to the divisional round straight off the bat, especially with these new formats. Granted, the playoffs are still fairly new for the Mariners. So as we go through, I'll be sure to report exactly how I'm feeling, both on Facebook, TikTok, and through the chat, just so you guys know, because this is all new for me.
You're an asshole, Ando. We got Erica with us tonight. She managed to be able to make it. So glad to have you here, Erica. Man, we're going to be talking about your Dodgers tonight, because if we have another game 3 after all the ones we've had earlier today that we're going to talk about, I'm going to get frustrated. And we have a special guest with us tonight. We may have others come in. But I have with me, he has a lot of experience covering sports, and he is a great guy. And best of all, he's on the East Coast. We've got Will Michalowski with us today. Will, how you doing with us? How you doing this evening, sir?
I am just peachy. I've never had a bad day in my life. I just don't talk about my nights to anybody, because it would be buying dangerous if we ever talk this way.
Oh, man, it's good to have you with us. We are going to get right down into it. We are in day 2 of the American League Wildcard, American League and National League Wildcard games. Yesterday, we saw some fantastic play and a lot of pitchers' duels. First, we saw the Tigers take the Guardians 2-1. Tarek Skubal had some absolutely stellar numbers in that.
Wasn't it 14 strikeout?
14 strikeouts. He only walked 3, pitched over 7 innings, only gave up 3 hits. Is Tarek Skubal the American League Cy Young, or is it Garrett Crochet? Will, what do you think?
It's got to be. Oh, go ahead.
I don't think it's any question that Skubal's the Cy Young. I don't see anybody really standing out. Maybe Fried, but Fried struggled during the second half of the year. So, yeah, I give it to Skubal.
All right. Well, Ando, what do you see, buddy?
No, I was going to say, I think without question, it's got to be Skubal. Despite how bad the Tigers have played, a pitcher only shows up on the field once every 5 games. So, worst case scenario, during the free fall that the Tigers had in September and the last part of August, he would have been responsible for a fifth of those demises, and his record shows otherwise. I think based off of the output that he had with the Tigers and the success the Tigers had when he was on the mound, I think it's without question that it's got to go to Scooble.
Erica, what do you think?
Get those pom-poms ready.
I definitely hold on. This is imperative. Let's go. Let's go.
So what we're saying is when the Dodgers score, we're going to get interruptions from our live correspondent Erica, who's watching the Dodgers game live.
Hey, and you know what? And y'all know what the best part is? What did you ask me before the show, Will? And guess who just did it? Hey, my man, Kike.
I love his attitude. I love his spirit. He's great.
Yeah.
All right, and then we saw, and then today with that series, we saw the Guardians get the W, beating Detroit 6-1. Like, this was a decisive win, and I think it was what, the 7th inning, if I recall correctly.
Eighth inning when the eighth
inning, yeah. The 8th inning, Guardians put up 5. It was a solid play, solid show out today by the Guardians. Especially after, the difficulty of yesterday losing because of J-Rams, but base running mistake. So now we look to tomorrow with this series. And it looks like, according to ESPN, the pitchers are going to be Flaherty and Saccone, or Sassoni, whatever the Italian dude's name is. Ando, who you got tomorrow? The Tigers and Guardians.
ESPN says matchup percenter 51-49. Tigers over Guardians. I've always kind of played on the mindset, especially in a 3-game series, the momentum goes to whoever takes game 2. So if game 2, the series is over, you don't have to worry about it. I think with Cleveland beating up Detroit the way they did in game 2, and Cleveland staying in it in game 1, it says a lot about Cleveland's determination. And you got to remember how hard Cleveland fought to take the AL Central.
Let's go.
Sorry, interruption for our correspondent. Erica, what just happened?
It was a single and Kike scored from second.
Awesome. Good job, Erica. Keep us informed. Thank you very much. No, as I was saying, I think the momentum goes as the series goes. So Cleveland wasn't obliterated in game 1. Yes, there was 1 or 2 errors that Cleveland had. But you got to remember that Cleveland fought their asses off to get in the position that they're in to be playing these home games. So I think it's Cleveland's to lose. I'm going to go with Cleveland to up. I don't even know if it's an upset. ESPN is saying it's a minor upset. I don't think it's an upset. I think Cleveland takes the series. If you could find a way to clone Scooble 5 times and have the ace on the mound every single game, Cleveland's screwed. But Flaherty, with as good as he's been this season, I just think Cleveland's momentum is going to take him through this game.
Flaherty's been good this season. He's been very erratic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he has.
Good, he's bad.
And I think
he's good. He's been very erratic.
Wasn't he on the Cardinals last year or the year before? Isn't that where he went to Detroit from? Was St. Louis? Okay, so that is who I thought.
Wait a minute, take that back. He was on the Dodgers last year. Then he was on St. Louis before that.
Okay. So he was on the Dodgers.
No, he was
a year in Baltimore.
On the Tigers. Last year he was on the Tigers, got traded to the Dodgers, and then re-signed with the Tigers this year. Before that, it was Baltimore. He had 7 starts with Baltimore in 2023 when he was traded from the Cardinals. So
that was the deadline trade. That was the deadline trade for the Cardinals, and he was kind of on and off the rotation for a few years there with St. Louis. He's one of those guys where his name is recognizable, and he had some seasons where he really got out there. But you also have more seasons than not where his ERA finished north of 4, a couple of times close to or north of 5. Like, there is
it's almost impossible to have a starting pitcher to go under 4 anymore with the DH rule now, which is another story for another time.
Right. There is but for me, it's like I and with Slade Ciccone, Ciscone, I think is what it is. Ciscone, there it is. With the guy that's starting for Cleveland, he's also a very mid pitcher, and he's younger. He's only 26. His ERA is 4.3. So like you said, it's kind of hard to get a starter south of 4. So that's definitely good for it's okay for him. He's probably somewhere in the middle there. Nothing stellar as far as like whips or strikeout numbers or anything like that. But
my question for Cleveland, why isn't Grant Williams pitching?
Didn't he just pitch in the last game of the season? I don't think he's quite ready to come back yet.
Well, I get him ready for middle relief tomorrow. All hands on deck. I don't care. You pitch anybody and everybody.
Well, no, if
go ahead, Seven.
As I say, if Cleveland doesn't win tonight, there's no game tomorrow. I'm sorry, if Cincinnati doesn't win tonight, there is no game tomorrow.
No, but I'm saying Cleveland, Grant Williams, why isn't he started?
Oh, they've got to. Okay, so for Cleveland, they've got to win tomorrow because like I said, I think he pitched second of the last game of the season, so he wasn't ready. I would assume he will pitch game 1 of the division series if they make it past the Tigers.
Yeah,
that would be that. Yeah.
The problem that you run into that with throwing all hands on deck is you put yourself at a disadvantage getting into that ALCS. And I know that the ALCS won't start until the 4th, so you get that extra day of rest. But look at how hot Seattle has been. If Seattle comes out of the gates in those first 2 games in Seattle and you're down 2-0, do you risk throwing everybody up front in this game 3?
Absolutely.
But then you put yourself in the disadvantage, and
you go bullpen by committee like they do anyway. So let's say hypothetically speaking, they go all hands on deck. They win kind of a nail biter. We'll say 2-3, 3-2, 4-3. They win that game. Okay.
They make it to Seattle. They fall in a 2-0 hole. Do you trust the Guardians to win 4 out of the next 5 or 4 out of the next 6
it have to be
4 out of the next 5 to be able to beat Seattle? Because that's what you're looking at.
Seattle has
down
the best pitching staff in the American League, bar none.
Yeah,
exactly. Exactly. No, and I get what you're saying, Endo. It's you kind of have to measure throwing everything at him and unloading your full arsenal with what are you going to have to deal with? Because like with bullpen arms, it's a little different because if you're going to have that day of rest, as long as you don't have a bunch of guys doing like what Boston did to Garrett Whitlock tonight and having him throw 40 pitches, you can use them the next day for another 15 to 20 and be okay.
Tomorrow. You can almost
Whitlock's not pitching tomorrow. But like I'm just using that as an example. Like that's the thing that you have to be careful of when you're throwing everything at him at the bullpen is at what cost. Yeah. And that, I think that's what Ando was saying. It's a valid concern.
It is.
You think about this for a second. Go ahead.
Cleveland, I think Cleveland has an opportunity to do it with the standard rotation. You don't have to throw everything out. You just beat Detroit 6-1. So you showed that you can make contact with the ball. And looking at the stats, Detroit had 7 hits. And Cleveland also added 2 errors. So essentially you had at least 9 base runners for Detroit, and Cleveland's defense only let 1 score. I would continue to play the game that Cleveland is playing. You got a good opportunity to beat Detroit without having to throw everything out there. Play the game that you were playing today.
If you can get to
Detroit doesn't have an answer. I think if Cleveland plays the game that they played today, you do not need to throw everything at it. Get yourself ready for Seattle.
It's situational. It's situational. It should be because like if you're only up by 1 run, if you're only down, if like it's a 1-run game, you have to play it more. You have to be more tight, more aggressive about it. Make sure you keep everything consistent and fresh to make it more difficult than if if they have a 6-1 lead. Of course, they're not going to throw everything at it. There's no point. You don't need to. And then, all right, let's move to the Padres and Cubs series. This one I knew I expected this one to go 3 games. I will say that first. The Cubs won yesterday 3-1. Padres won today 3-0. So, I mean, these are two very balanced teams. So, as we look at tomorrow for the Cubs, they're going to have Jameson Taillon pitching, and Padres are going to have Yu Darvish. And that's risky. Yeah, you're going to take the over because Yu Darvish has 11 pitches and serves up 11 meatballs a game. What's up, David? So for me, it's definitely a game where you take the over for sure. But I think it comes down to which pitcher breaks first. Will, I'll let you take this one first. When you look at Darvish and Taillon, who do you think cracks first in that game tomorrow?
Darvish. Unfortunately, I want the Padres to win. However, I think Darvish is going to crack. Here's the thing that people don't realize. They got Mason Miller still fresh for tomorrow. If they go to a 5-6 inning game, I take the Padres bullpen over anybody in this postseason. Anybody, even the Dodgers. I even take them over that. Because the Dodgers bullpen to me is horrible. I'll be honest with you. Trayvon Blake, whatever his name is, has been horrible.
Trinan.
Yeah, he's been horrible. Their bullpen is in the disarray. You got Mason Miller. You could throw him out there. You could also throw that Suarez in the 8th or 9th inning. He can go 1-2 innings. So if it's a 5-6 inning game with Darvish, if they can hold their own, get Darvish out after 5 innings, go bullpen by committee. There you go. That's how I do it. I think. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think the Cubs will get to Darvish, and I think the Padres will come back. I think it's going to be like a 6-5, 7-6 game tomorrow. Seriously. It all depends, of course. It's just Wrigley Field. Does the wind blow in? Does the wind blow out? We all know being baseball enthusiasts. So.
Erica, I want to ask you this. I'm going to start with you on this one. One of the things that we talked about on Coffee and Sports this morning was the way that they scheduled this day game at Wrigley, knowing that the shadow would have an impact and make it a weird game. Should they have done a better job either scheduling it before or later so that it wasn't an issue?
I mean, I definitely don't think that's fair because it's an automatic disadvantage. So, I mean, in my opinion, they should have scheduled before or they should have scheduled after.
Ando, what do you think?
First off, I like Wrigley in the daytime. Don't get me wrong. I think Wrigley at nighttime is absolutely amazing, but there's something about Chicago baseball in the middle of the day. I personally would have switched the Tigers Guardians game and made that the second game and would have started with the Padres and the Cubs, personally speaking. That being said, I like the Cubs. Looking at Darvish's last 5 starts, I think he's 3-1 in his last 3 starts. His only non-decision was against the Reds, and that was his longest outing where he pitched 5 2/3 inning, gave up 6 hits, 3 runs, and all 3 were earned. But Darvish has not made it out of the 5th in any of his he's made it out of the 5th in only one of his last 5 plate appearances. That being said, he is 4-1 or 3-1 in his last 4. Taillon is 5-1. 5-1 or 4-1 because he had a 2-run appearance against the Braves, and that could have been a no decision there. But I got to agree with Will. Darvish is one of those that when he's rattled, he comes unglued. And if the Cubs bats get popping like they did in game 1 against Darvish, we're going to have a problem. The Padres are going to have a problem. That being said, I think we saw today's game where the Cubs couldn't get anything going against Padres. I don't know if it was just outstanding pitching or just lack of discipline with the bats that they had. But yeah, it's for the Cubs to be shut out, and they're the only team that got shut out today because the Reds and the Dodgers both put up runs on the board. I know I just said the momentum goes with the team that just won Game 2, but looking at the history of Darvish, I think the Cubs are going to make that, or are going to reprimand that, and I think the Cubs take it. Craig, you said 7-6, 7-5. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. I think it's going to be 4-2.
And that's Will.
Oh, what did I say, Mark?
Craig.
You said Craig.
My bad.
That would
My
be
bad.
the first time
Will,
I've been
I'm sorry.
wrong in my lifetime.
No, I think it'll be
I
think it'll be a 4-2. I think if we score more than 5, I think it'll go crazy like 11-2 or 11-3. But I don't think I'm going to go 4-2. I think Cubs take it.
I got a weather report for tomorrow. 80 degrees, 6 mile per hour wind. So the wind isn't going to help or hinder either way. So
Nope.
There's your answer for the.
No, that'll be.
What up, Will?
What's up, Will? Yeah, Erica. I would let Erica cook me dinner. For me, like I feel like the scheduling of these games as a whole was not done correctly.
I would have rotated it.
They should have American League one night doubleheader, a National League next night doubleheader, on and off. There's no reason not to. Those, and then you still leave a little padding for the division series to start the next weekend. We've got plenty of time, especially now that we have
Commissioner of Baseball, because
he's such a nutsack. Oh my
He
god,
really is.
I could go on and on about him.
Love you too, Will.
I could do an essay on him if I had to. Trust me.
I love you too, Will.
He's not talking to you.
I know he's not. That's why I said it.
But no, it's for me. The thing that's frustrating is like the MLB would make more money if they put the games all in primetime. If they put them all in primetime, even if you did a doubleheader where they're on ESPN and TBS usually gets involved in postseason baseball coverage, or Fox Sports, and have them in primetime and stack them, you would get better ratings.
My buddy's up. Oh boy.
All of these than all these games, because you have 3 of them happening. Not, really none of them are happening in prime time for any for an area, and that's
what baseball is doing next
or
year,
except for maybe Red Sox.
Finally doing. You know what the baseball's finally doing next year? It's having the opening games the last week of March. Finally, you're not going to see baseball in November. For crying out, the 6th or 7th game. In November.
They did that. They did that this year
ridiculous.
as well.
I know. It's like,
Nancy just took a pitch to the back.
Oh, did he get hurt? Oh, I feel so bad.
Yeah. He's got boo boo on his back now.
It was first.
But no, it's the scheduling as a whole. It should have been done in prime time because you could have gotten more ratings. It would have been a lot more visibility for baseball. And right now, what you need is visibility for baseball. It frustrates me the way that this was mismanaged, because they could have broken it up a lot more.
I would have done American National and then the next day National American. Doubleheader one day, doubleheader the next night, so on and so forth.
It's
not all 4 games, 3 consecutive games. It's absolutely ridiculous.
It is. It makes no sense. But you know what? That's Manfred for you. And
that's
in this series,
that's why we always say fuck Manfred.
Yeah.
And that's why I will never respect baseball like I used to. For the simple fact is, it's all about money. That's all I care about.
Yeah, Unfortunately, he is definitely focused more on the business side and less on the product, and it shows. It really does.
What baseball ought to do, and said this. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead. No, you're good. Go ahead.
What I feel what baseball ought to do is have a salary cap. This is the perfect solution. You have a 25 to 26 man roster. Make it $300 million. Any player makes $10 to $12 million a year. That's fine. If you go over the cap, but you get fined. There you go. But everybody would be equal.
But here's the thing. The only way that you're going to get players to agree to a salary cap at the CBA, and I have a couple of friends that play in the minors that I talk to, connection or two in that department that I use every once in a while. And the way that the discussion is looking is the reason the players are taking such a hard line is because if they're going to agree to a salary cap, then there must be a salary floor. This team where you've got entire teams that aren't even spending $100 million a year on their payroll, while you have other teams that are spending $350 a year, is unacceptable. There should not be that much of a pay disparity in baseball among spending with these teams. And so you have to put a salary floor
in 97 or 2003, or do you want to tell the Tampa Bay Rays who got to the World Series in 2008 with the lowest payroll?
Right, and those are and it can happen. And I'm not saying that the payroll, the salary floor has to be $250 million if you have a $300 million cap. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it has to be more. I think you do, like, let's say at 350, you do 150, or you get it a percentage. It has to be a minimum of 40%. Just give them a penalty where that extra money gets spread out over the players anyway, so they're still going to lose it, and they could potentially lose draft picks, so that they hit that floor at least. Because then you're not going to have teams, because like Tampa Bay, more often than not, they're playing Moneyball. They have a smaller payroll, but they do have some good guys. And
bring Montreal back. Give me a Tampa Bay. Bring Montreal back, please.
That would be so amazing. But like, instead of Tampa Bay spending $75 million a year, you make them spend $100 million a year. So they're still playing Moneyball with that team, but those guys can have a little bit more money to pocket. And there is, or the same for the A's or the D-backs, especially Ken Kendricks. I cannot stand that guy. And from all my time living in Arizona and dealing with Arizona sports, I cannot stand Ken Kendricks because he is the epitome of garbage in that city, and a lot of people know
on that Arizona team. You have talent.
There is a lot of talent, and he is the reason why they keep it. Why they can't keep it? People, Paul Goldschmidt playing for the Yankees right now. Had a good career with the Cardinals as well. Was developed by Arizona. There is a list of players that have done really well in throughout Major League Baseball history that started in Arizona's farm system. Corbin Carroll is absolutely stellar. I love that kid. But these owners aren't spending.
So I need to answer a question because I see it and it's like, I feel like being a Dodgers fan, I have a right to answer this one.
Be my guest.
Salary cap, would that work in today's MLB?
If they put a salary floor in, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, if they put a salary cap, it would have to, because then you wouldn't have teams like the Dodgers that have deferred so much money to build a super team.
So did the Yankees. When has it gotten them recently? Nowhere.
Well, but the Yankees.
But you got to look at them. You got to look at them.
Hold
on. Let's be honest here. Okay, well, let's be really honest. Both teams went to the World Series, right? Last year. That's exactly what everybody wanted. That's exactly what MLB wanted, right? They were looking pretty good up until that, fifth inning choke real quick.
And there is a benefit to having a top and a bottom, realistically. And for me, the other thing that I think is important here is when this salary cap happens, because I think it's inevitable at this point that it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. If not in this CBA, within the next few, it's going to happen. But they're going to pull away from teams being able to defer money at all. And that's going to put like what we've been dealing with, Shohei getting $70 million a year, but not really. He's only getting $2 million a year. And it's only impacting their actual payroll salary numbers by $45 million a year.
But they could always
that
do
stuff's
it
not
like
gonna
the
happen
NBA and NFL and have guaranteed contracts that doesn't count on your cap. That's what they'll have. That's what Major League Baseball is going to do. If they have a cap, they'll put guaranteed money up front, so it doesn't count on their cap.
Well, and they'll do signing bonuses because, I think everybody does that. So you'll see some of the signing bonuses go up. But it's still going to be because, and especially with the fact that baseball deals are fully guaranteed. This isn't like the NFL where, it could be, the deal could be as much as 280. No, it's 280, bro. That's what it is. And I'm not sure how long Major League Baseball stays with that. Because there's plenty of arguments that it's not sustainable. There's arguments that it is, especially you look at, the way that these guys go, but with player injuries becoming more common among professional sports and players taking time out to actually heal instead of putting themselves at risk of extreme damage by playing through the injury when they shouldn't be. You've got to make sure that they still have that stability so that they're not tempted to doing stupid things. That's part of the reason they make so much money. You have all the money you want. Don't be dumb. Unfortunately, you have some guys like Wander Franco who have all the money they want and are dumb.
He's going to come back.
No. He won't ever pitch. He won't ever play Major League Baseball again. I don't think he's really even allowed out of the Dominican Republic. He's not getting a visa because he's now a convicted child predator.
If that ever happens, I'm going to fucking riot for Trevor Bauer. I swear the fuck to God, if that ever happens, I am going to riot.
I've been saying that all along, and as much as you're a Dodger fan, I've been saying that all along. Trevor Bauer is getting screwed over more ways than one.
All right.
That's a popular topic on this show. It's because with Trevor Bauer.
I totally agree. Trevor should be baseball. He should. Why isn't teams looking at him? Why isn't my Phillies looking at him? I don't know.
Why do you have a player like Julio Urias, who has dealt with issues because of domestic violence multiple times, gets to come back and play baseball? Yeah, exactly. That's the frustrating part about it is the way that they enforce these bans and these rules and their opinions of players entirely subjective instead of following the way it should be. And it frustrates me to no end.
They ought to take a page from the NFL. What they did with Adam Jones back then, and so on and so forth.
But that doesn't always solve the answer because the NFL will tend to jump the gun, and then they get all the notifications, and then Roger Goodell's like, "Oh, well, we took part of his season away. I guess we can't give it back." There's got to be a fine line of stuff like sports.
I can't tell you one commissioner I liked in all the major sports. Can't tell you one.
Right now, no. I would say Adam Silver. Up until the last year or so, I was the last 2 years. Up until the last 2 years, Adam Silver was doing a great job, but he hasn't even dropped the ball.
No, what Adam Silver did with that play-in game in the playoff, the tournament before the start of the season. I mean, you want to make this March Madness Junior? Is that what you're becoming? That's what it's becoming. The NBA.
I know that the point of that is to get the players, the veterans that are load managing in the early part of the year to actually play the game more because you give them something to play for. But at the end of the day,
that will never happen.
It's not going to have the impact that he wants, and the NBA season shouldn't be more than 60 games. Let's see. Okay. Top of this, top of the sixth, one out. LA is still up 3-2. So let's talk about the Red Sox-Yankees series now. We have seen absolutely stellar pitching from Garrett Crochet. Max Fried actually looked really good last night before Boone pulled him. Red Sox did win that game 3-1. Tonight, Yankees won the Yankees won the game 4-3, largely due to Carlos Rodon having and Carlos Rodon on with his pitching and Jazz Chisholm with his offense and defense. He was actually very great defensively. I know tonight I saw Anthony Volpe make a great play, and I thought it was fantastic that he looks so much better because I get that he's a Yankees player and I'm a Red Sox fan, but I like Volpe. I thought he looked in years past, he's looked really good. He has great energy. He's got great instincts. I don't know why he fell off the way he did, but I'm happy for him that he found it. I don't like seeing players get the yips like that and kind of losing themselves, putting themselves of losing their career, seeing their value drop. Like that's I don't want to see that with anybody. We had Whitlock take the L tonight. Threw 45 pitches. Gave up some walks, gave up a couple of hits. It's the first run that Garrett Whitlock has allowed since the middle of August. Absolutely stellar performances by Garrett Whitlock up to this point. So, it has to happen at some point, kind of like when Aroldis Chapman's streak of scoreless appearances ended a few weeks ago. So, okay, I'll tee the same question off to each of you guys. With the Red Sox-Yankees series, what have you seen, and what do you think is going to make a difference in Game 3? Ando, I'll let you take this one first.
So, I think it's opportune hitting, right? We saw in Game 1, the Red Sox got a really nice hit late in the game. And then the defense of the Red Sox played absolutely amazing. Flip side of that, there were 2 or 3 innings in the middle of the game that the Yankees were ready to give up runs, especially the top of the 7th where the bases were loaded. And the Yankees held it together, right? We didn't see that in Game 1, but we saw that in Game 2. Again, it comes back to the momentum. And the Yankees didn't let the Red Sox hold the momentum the way that they did in Game 1. The Yankees played a different style of baseball in Game 2. And I think Boone noted the mistake that he made with Fried in Game 1, let Fried pitch a little longer in Game 2. And we saw the success that had. Furthermore, with Whitlock, why they let him stay in as long as he did is kind of unique to me, because usually in a situation, especially that late in the game, you get runners in scoring position, you get ready to hand the ball off to your next pitcher in the bullpen. I think they let Whitlock stay in one batter too long. And obviously that killed them because Austin Wells hit that little blooper right down the right field line, first base line. Another 3 inches and that would have been a foul ball. So perfectly hit ball by Wells. And then Chisholm to take off even before that bat makes contact. Chisholm's almost inside part of the plate. Excuse me. Chisholm is almost at second by the time that ball lands. So you have to make a damn near perfect throw from right field to be able to get that out, and they didn't. I don't want to give the Yankees credit, but hats off to the Yankees for playing that very well in the 8th inning. And then just solid pitching in the top of the 9th. You had a runner on first, and they didn't get rattled. Great success to the Yankees. I think this is amazing for baseball. If there was one series I think MLB wanted to go to 3, it's Boston and New York, just because of the history they have. I'm going to change my vote. I think the Yankees take Game 3. I want to see Boston beat New York because I'm not a Yankees fan myself. But I think with the way the Yankees played in this game too, I think they take the momentum for Game 3. I don't think, again, just like with the Padres and Cubs, I don't think it's a barn burner. I think it's going to be a 3-2, 2-1 type of game. I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of offense.
They keep coming with it over and over again.
I happen to agree. I think this is going to be a low. I think it's going to be either high scoring or low scoring because you've got 2 rookies pitching tomorrow. You've got a bullpen. Both teams' bullpens are a little bit roughed up. Actually, the Yankees is faring a little bit better right now because they didn't have to use as many pitchers today. So I think that could turn that could be the thing that turns it for the Yankees. Whose bats get hot tomorrow is what's going to make the biggest difference. But I will say, I have hope for the Red Sox. Connolly Early has some talent.
Yamamoto got us out of it.
That was very close for you guys. That was very, very close.
I'm listening, but I was so into this. That was so intense. I'm so sorry.
There's a whole lot of potential out of both these teams. Honestly, if I'm being honest, I think that regardless of who wins this series, I don't know that they make it past the next round because the Blue Jays know how to beat both Boston and New York. They're really good.
Wouldn't it be a Blue Jays thing?
Go Blue Jays.
Go ahead. Well, go ahead, Will.
No, I'm just saying.
No, he was just saying go Blue Jays. You're good.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, wouldn't it be a Blue Jays type of deal, though, to give up the divisional series to their big brother in the AL East? Because both of these guys are their big brothers. Look, Toronto hasn't been to the World Series since 93, right? When they beat the Braves 4-2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was torn that year because they're both my teams.
Yeah, I wasn't old enough to really pay attention. I was a Braves fan because I remember Greg Maddux in '93, and he and
Best
Jeter were
pitcher
the
I
only
ever
two
saw in my
players
life.
Yep. But it would be classic Canada to be like, hey, we got the Yankees or we got the Red Sox, and oh shit, we lose 4-0. Well, at least we made it to not like. I don't want to see Toronto blow it. I think, again, part of it is the momentum. But then again, both the Yankees and the Red Sox beat the hell out of each other. So who's to say, just like with that Cleveland-Detroit series, these two teams don't beat each other up and Toronto jumps on it the first chance they get. It's very possible we go back to Fenway or Yankee Stadium and Toronto has a 2-0 lead because these two teams spent so much of their energy beating each other up that they go down in the hole 2-0 against the Blue Jays.
I wouldn't be surprised to see either team eat game one against Toronto.
Yeah.
Because you want to give your bullpen some rest. So whoever's starting that game one for either Boston or New York, I think that they're in there for 7 innings. Win or lose, it could be 10-1. Yeah.
Guarantee it.
Another
thing baseball has done wrong. You forget to mention one thing about baseball that they did in postseason, which now if the Dodgers win tonight, they play the Phillies.
Yep.
They're the two best teams. They should be reseeded all over again.
We talked about this on Monday. It should be because I like the way that the NFL does it.
Where the lowest seed will take on the highest seed.
The lowest seed that's remaining.
Playoff. I can't stand in the NFL. Can't stand it.
I enjoy it. I like the 17 playoff in the NFL.
I don't.
I think that the number of teams we could discuss all night, but as far as the format where the lowest team plays the highest team and back and forth in the middle, like that to me is
the logical thing to do.
It is the logical thing to do because then you could potentially have, if Detroit wins tomorrow, Detroit going instead, and then you would have Boston or New York against Seattle, which I think would be I think would be a great series. Yeah.
How many more years are going to put up with this commissioner changing things? I mean, seriously.
Well, Go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
I was going to say that he's done in 2029.
Thank God.
That's it. Yeah, he's done.
There's a God after all.
He's not renewing his contract. Somebody else will be brought in at that point. I would assume within the next year or so, we're going to start hearing more about who's being groomed to replace him, so to speak.
Tony Clark.
I hope it's Tony Clark.
Mark it down.
I legitimately hope it's Tony Clark.
So
either or let it be Shohei.
No,
Shohei's going to be
either
the
Tony Clark. or because I know that Theo Epstein does a lot of work for the league itself,
Don't
I
bring
would
him
be
back.
open to Theo Epstein as the commissioner. I don't think he would do
No.
it, but I would be
No.
open to it.
No. Why? He's too young and inexperienced when it comes to that to handle that. I think he wouldn't handle it.
So, Will, I'll kick over the Red Sox Yankees series to you. What do what have you seen in this series as far as what's helped the teams, and what do you think about tomorrow's game?
All right, what I think about tomorrow, it's going to come down to which twosome gets hot, Story or Bregman, or Judge or Stanton. Whoever gets the most hits between the four, combined the two, wins this game tomorrow. I that's how I feel. Stanton hasn't done nothing in this series. Trevor Story who has resurrected his career this year with Boston, and he's been incredible. Bregman, he's coming off injury and everything else, still could produce. He's doing 429. Judge is hitting 500, but we haven't seen the power yet of Judge.
Right.
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. With these two pitchers, I know nothing about this pitcher the Yankees are pitching. I'll be honest. I know nothing about him.
He's a rookie call-up, just like early. Yeah. They're both rookie call-ups.
Okay. Well, then you're going to see old boys tomorrow.
Tomorrow's going to be interesting because Connolly early, I see, because I've watched him pitch a couple of times. If he's locked in, he could control the game. And that could be the advantage that Boston needs going into the fight with Toronto. And the other side with Schlittler for New York. If he's on, this could be another pickle, and this could be another pitcher's duel tomorrow. And I think but I do think that you're right about the fact that whichever team's pair out of Judge and Stanton or Story and Bregman gets the most hits, I think that's who wins. That's the team whose team wins the game. I want to see Duran get hot tomorrow. I want to see him get some deep shots he needs to. He hasn't done well in Yankee Stadium for some reason, and I think that he needs to fix that. And if he can, that's another one. If he can heat up, if you see Volpe find it again tomorrow, or Grisham, maybe Bellinger, or Goldschmidt lights up. I mean, these teams are so evenly matched. I don't think people realize it.
I agree with you, but now here's the thing. You said this earlier. The Red Sox bullpen has been imploded today. What do you do now? Now what do you do?
I think you kind of have to just your first hope is that you can get at least 5 to 6 out of your starter. If you're Boston, you want to get. You're talking with Connolly early tonight. If you're Alex Cora, I need 6 out of you tomorrow. I need you to come here ready to throw 6. You're going to throw 100 pitches tomorrow. I need you to be ready. And
you know what
I think Early has the potential to do that.
You brought up Whitlock earlier. I meant to say this. You brought up Whitlock earlier. You know what it reminds me of? Remember the 2019 national team, who they used the starter in relief during that postseason, and look what he did. I can't think of his name on top of my head. Who the heck was that?
Yeah, I knew you're talking about. It's man, and that Philly pitching rotation is ridiculous anyway. Because Christopher Sanchez is unreal, and they're doing so well without Zach Wheeler. Like that team is going to be a force in the postseason. I'm talking about the
Nationals of 2019.
Oh, Nationals! I'm sorry.
They had a bullpen. They had a starter in the bullpen. And he was like,
because everybody goes to a 4-man rotation in the playoffs.
Exactly.
So
I'm trying to remember his name. Was it Strasburg?
That played for the Nationals.
Steven Strasburg? Hold on. I want to look at the roster.
Yeah, I will. I'm curious who this was. Could have been Corbin, too.
I think it was either. No, it wouldn't. So it wouldn't have been Cole. It had, and honestly, it was either. I think it was Strasburg, because as I'm looking at their roster, I'm looking at the World Series roster right now, and I know that they used him in the World Series as well.
Right.
I think you're right. I think it was Steven Strasburg. I think you're right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Talented dude though.
I got a trivia question for you guys on that World Series.
Which
Okay.
World Series are we talking about? 2019 between the Astros and the Nationals? Okay.
No, okay. Ready? What happened in that World Series? It's never happened before. It hasn't happened since.
A home team never won a game.
Yep. Very good.
Yeah. Because the home field advantage is what the Astros thought they were going to have because of the sign stealing with the trash can. And the Nationals changed up their signals. And where the Astros played best at home, the Astros did not win.
Dodgers up 5-2 now.
Yep. Yeah, okay. So it looks like if this holds, we're gonna have 3 game threes tomorrow, which I think is so great because I have blood pressure issues. And these are stressful, especially as a Red Sox fan. It's been an interesting season, and the parity in the league this year is insane. And I love that it keeps getting better. It is the way it should be. It is, and that's the argument against the salary cap.
You know what made it parity? You forget to realize what they made parity. They play every team at least once now, one series. That was one of the best things they ever did in baseball.
And to do that. If you're going to have this long of a season, I would much rather see the Red Sox and the Dodgers face off once a year so that I can talk shit to Erica than another series against the Rays.
Hold on. I don't want to hear about you.
Whatever.
Oh
now 7-2.
Oh my God. Guys, seriously? Oh my God. Guys, we got it.
She's going to have an aneurysm. Watch out.
Fuck you guys.
Corner.
Finish the job. Fuck y'all.
Call 911.
Whoa. Erica, game's not over. It's only the 6th, not the 9th.
Okay, you better shut up. I'm not talking to you, Ando. At least, we're gonna be finishing our series tonight, unlike fucking Tony's team over here. Because apparently they can't fucking finish the Yankees off.
My team played the next round, so I'm not in this conversation.
Erica, can you wake me up when September ends?
Hey, bitch, guess what? It's October 1st.
Oh, hey, so it's perfect timing for the Dodgers to start choking.
We're not choking. We're not choking. We're not playing Philly yet, so chill out. We're not choking yet.
You still got plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
We got 31 more days of October, Erica. I'm not saying.
Oh, my God.
We got plenty of time.
Listen, okay.
Again,
children.
We're not playing Philly yet. Until we get to Philly, we won't choke. So shut up,
That's what they say when they're leaving.
Children. I'm going to ground all of you.
Ando has to go to HR automatically.
No, Will, you get a pass because you're a guest. Okay.
Because why?
So you get a pass because you're a guest.
Why do want to be a guest?
No, I go to HR on every single show that I'm with Seven on. I say something or do something inappropriate, and I got to go to his office the next morning.
Yeah, I'm HR for the network. So, okay. So as we talk about this Dodgers Red series, there was definitely some curious eyes at the possibility of the Dodgers choking in this series. But obviously their offense is firing on all cylinders. Pitching has been great. Obviously their bullpen is still an issue. So we are going to see the Dodgers face off against the Phillies in the next round. Before we move on to the coaches' firings, before we wrap up the episode, will out of the Dodgers and the Phillies, we got
Phillies. How many? Is this best out of 5?
Yeah, it's best.
Yeah, it's a best of 5 series.
It'll go all 5.
It will, but Philly's gonna win it.
Yeah,
she's my darling. She loves me. First, I'm an Oklahoma fan. Now I'm a darling to her. Oh, I think she's doing this because I'm an Oklahoma fan. But anyway,
Erica, I think you need to have more support for your team.
No. What?
Now, this
We
is
need to
my
have more
idea for the
sport.
Phillies rotation. And tell me what you think. Sanchez game 1, Suarez game 2, Nola game 3, or Wheeler.
Wheeler won't be back this season, so it'll be Nola, and then I would assume Luzardo game 4, right?
No, they'll put Lazard in the bullpen, I think.
Luzardo will be the bullpen. Okay. Okay, Ando, what do you think?
I
man?
would think. I can't see a 4-man rotation in the best out of 5. I can't see it. I never liked 4-man rotations in postseason, period. Never have.
Okay.
I'm one of those guys
All
who
right.
like 2-3-2 formats and 1-4-7 if they go 7 in rotations.
Yeah. Ando, what do you think, man?
7. I'm going to take a page out of my NFL playbook. Until you can dethrone the champions, they are still the champions. So I think it's going to go 5, but I think it's going to be the Dodgers. Right? Until they prove me wrong, I'm going to go with the Dodgers.
To be the best, you got to beat the best.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, the Phillies have a great opportunity here to, I'm sorry, Erica, shut the Dodger fan base up. Right? The Dodgers have not played to the potential that the Dodgers should have been playing at this year, right? I think everybody penciled them in as the NL West champions, 105 wins. I think people penciled them in. And they're writing the Dodgers off because the Dodgers hit, 93 wins this season?
95, I think.
93 and 69 is what they finished.
Okay.
Nice. 69. Nice.
Attaboys. Attaboys.
But you and I being Chiefs fans, 7, we know not to count out the champs until they are knocked out. And the Philadelphia Eagles knocked out the champs this year. So I think
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Philadelphia has
On the word to victory. Oh, we're
Phillies
not
have
in
a great
karaoke night.
opportunity.
Oh.
But until they do it, you can't write off the Dodgers. Cannot.
This is the problem with the Phillies.
Dennis Green said it best. If you want to crown their ass, then crown their ass. Philly is not going to do that. Philly is going to come in. They're going to be looking to swing. But I think that the Dodgers at this point have everything to lose. Philly has nothing to lose in this series, right? The Dodgers have everything to lose. I think the Dodgers beat the Phillies. It'll be a very entertaining, very great series. I'm going to take the Dodgers in 5.
This is the problem with the Phillies.
That's if they beat the Reds.
This is the problem with the Phillies for all you aficionados. You stop Schwarber and Harper, they score 1-2 runs. That's it. They're a home run or a strikeout team. That's all they're known for.
I get what you're saying with that, and to a point, and I definitely agree to a point. But I will say that there are also pieces of that team that are just slowly consistent, like Trey Turner, slowly consistent.
We don't know what
Like,
Trey Turner is going to be like for postseason. We don't know.
Right. Harrison Bader, Brandon Marsh, Max Kepler, they're all very streaky. I like Max Kepler in the postseason. I loved him with Minnesota. I think that but I also, again, I feel like he can be a bit streaky, and I would almost rather see Nick Castellanos in right for them rather than Kepler. But you've got a DH Schwarber, so that's a tough choice. And to a point, I get it, because Kepler's better defensively, whereas you'd rather have Castellanos at the plate. At least personally, I would, especially if you can get a national tragedy.
Get his way out of a barn for crying out loud, please.
Yeah, the dude's got a bat, a solid bat, and that's the thing is you've got to.
He has a solid bat, like Castellanos.
If national tragedy happens, next thing you want to do is put money on Nick Castellanos home run.
I'll tell you right now,
can set your walk by.
If Castellanos hits more than 5 hits in this series, I will buy you dinner, from Uber or Uber Eats or whatever. I'll tell you right now, if he gets more than 5 hits in this series.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
You want to take that bet? You want to take that bet?
I got you. I'm down.
Okay.
Okay. Because but part of it is he going to get a chance to play? because
he's going to play every day. That's Rob Thompson. He plays his favorites.
well, but he's got Kepler to sit over there now. Castellanos isn't a starter at this point in that lineup.
Kepler will play. There's no defense about it. Bader's going to be there.
Right, but you're starting outfield.
Kepler's off the bench, basically.
You're starting outfield right now, according to ESPN, for the Phillies. The outfield for the ALDS should be Martian left, Bader in center, and Kepler in right. So if that's the case, if that's correct, we may not even see him get 5 plate attempts. And that's the thing. Like if he's an everyday player, I'll take that bet.
The Dodgers starting game 1. If they go lefty, Kepler can't hit lefties at all. So
that's fair.
It depends who the Dodgers play. That's what it's going to fall down to. Now, there's another issue that the Dodgers are not talking about. What do you do with Ohtani in the pitching thing? Do you let him start a game?
He'll start a game. He'll start a game.
So Dave Roberts already came out and said that he was going to be in the lineup. It hasn't been declared 100% what it's going to be. Shohei's able to do it though, like to go back and start. So I guarantee we're going to see a Shohei start. Guaranteed.
Guys, I'm gonna come out and say this. It's October 1st. We're only in the 7th inning. It is very possible that the Dodgers cough this game up and then choke tomorrow. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It is October.
I mean, it's
listen to a former Brave fan saying this, okay?
Oh.
Listen.
Anyway,
it's Choketober. It's
Choketober.
Chocktober
all right,
Fest, people.
So as we wrap up tonight, really quick, it's been announced over the last couple of days. We've officially had MLB's Black Monday.
Yay.
We saw Brian Snitker will not return as skipper for the Braves. He will be moving to an advisory role. So he wasn't fired. He was just moved to a different department.
He was fired.
The Rockies dismissed Schmidt after their 119 loss season.
No surprise.
Bob Melvin is out in San Francisco.
Kind
Rangers have, and by the way, for those of you playing the home game on that with Bruce Bochy getting fired from the Rangers, Buster Posey has already said that they are not going to be interviewing Bruce Bochy for the new position.
Say that again.
So Buster Posey, chief baseball officer for the Giants, said that they are not even going to interview Bruce Bochy for that manager position. So he will not be going back to San Francisco.
I think it's done.
I think he's going to be doing the advisory role thing as well for a team. Like he might be in an advisory role for the Giants, but I don't think he's a head coach anywhere. Mm-hmm. Like I said, the Rangers did dismiss Bruce Bochy. Twins dismissed Rocco Baldelli.
Angels did Ron Washington.
And Washington and the guy that was the interim, because Ron Washington's been out on health issues.
That's right.
And the guy that was the interim manager, they released him as well. I don't think I'm surprised by any of these myself. The Giants collapse. I knew Bob Melvin was going to get the blame for that. I just knew it. I have a friend, the Giants fan, Craig, who's normally on the show with us. My buddy Evan, also a Giants fan.
You didn't say it right. The Giants. Get it right.
By the way, I have the perfect Giants manager right now. You're dispersed.
Who's that?
Robbie Thompson. Watch.
His name's actually floated. There's a lot of speculation that that's who it's going to be.
It should be
Robbie Thompson. Yeah, and it makes the most sense. I think. I feel like
or Matt Williams. Or Matt Williams.
And Matt Williams is a possibility because he's been their third base coach, hasn't he, for a while?
Yes.
And so I think that's also a possibility. There was a couple
the Nationals.
Yeah, he was, and there has been some talk about Dusty Baker, but I think again he's too old. I don't
Would
think he's
they bring
coming
Dusty
back.
Baker back though?
I don't think so. ESPN says it's a possibility. I think ESPN's full of shit.
Yeah, I don't.
I would listen to CBS
I would
before
honestly
ESPN.
the other big name that's been talked about with that position that I've seen that I think actually makes some sense is Skip Shoemaker. Because and he currently works as an advisory role with the Rangers. So he's going to have Bruce Bochy as a reference when he goes to interview for that position. And even if Bruce Bochy's not being considered as a head coach, you can't tell me that Buster Posey doesn't respect the input of Bruce Bochy.
Mhm.
So
Who I would love to see is the Ranger manager. You're going to get a good laugh at this. Adrian Beltre. He'd be perfect.
he would absolutely be.
He handled. Oh my God! You see how he's? Oh my God! He's awesome. Love him.
But honestly, who I like more for that is Ryan Flaherty. He's currently the bench coach for the Cubs. So if it's going to be him that they're going to look at, they won't be able to interview him until after the Cubs fall, which could be another week or two. So I get that's depending on how much of a timeline they're looking at it, with what they're comfortable with. That could have an impact on the decision. But I like him because he's a former player. So and player coaches are definitely having more of an impact on today's teams because you're able to look at this guy and know he's been there. Alex Cora was not a great player by any stretch of the imagination. He did make impacts a couple of times with the Red Sox and with the other teams that he played with, but he understands and he sees the game as the way players do. Yes. That's a great example. That's why I think Matt Williams wouldn't be a bad choice for a team to pick him up as a skipper.
No.
And with Flaherty, he played 8 seasons, I think it was. I know he spent some time with the Braves and the Guardians. But Flaherty is another one that I think lands somewhere. Maybe it ends up being Colorado. And maybe it ends up being the Braves. Maybe it ends up being the Braves.
No,
especially
I got an idea who the Braves manager is going to be. Dave Martinez. Dave Martinez.
I've heard that as well. Yeah, it's that one's really hard. I like, also for the Rangers. Obviously, their current bench coach is somebody who could get promoted. Mark DeRosa for the Braves. The guy, he was the Team USA manager in the. I think he's one that the Rangers could look at, but I like him better with the Braves because again, player coach. He played for the Braves for 6-7 years, something late 90s, early 2000s. So I think for him, that's a good fit. Shoemaker's another one that could fit in there. And I think Shoemaker.
Not talking about. I'll give you one of the Rangers you're not talking about. He's been a long-time pitching coach, Mike Maddox. Mike
Maddox could definitely, that's not impossible to think. Pujols is rumored to be in on the Angels job. So is Torrey Hunter. I don't know about Pujols as a coach.
Torrey Hunter's a head case.
Exactly. Torrey Hunter's a head case. The problem with Pujols as a coach, and I know you've seen this throughout time in sports. Elite players, when they become coaches, don't do as good of a job because they don't understand that players can't just do it like they did. And I think that could end up hamstringing him more than I think it would help him. And I love Albert Pujols. I respect the hell out of him. One of my favorite players to ever put on a Cardinals uniform.
I don't think he wants it.
And I don't think he does want it. But I think, and honestly, I think it's kind of crazy that he's being considered for it. Another name that was floated with the Angels, Darren Erstad.
He's not bad.
He's not a bad, but is he going to be good at managing egos? His coaching experience is college. Those guys are hungry. He would be coaching guys that are fed. I would rather see him in a minor league role first before putting him in a skipper role, especially for a team that needs to recover and establish a culture like the Angels. And that's where Pujols, the culture piece is where Pujols would be useful, because he's not going to handle like this whole absent of a culture thing that the Angels have going on, similar to what they're dealing with the Mets. Pujols would fix that.
By the way,
he would.
You brought up Darren Erstad. What was his claim to fame before he was in baseball?
So Yamamoto is finally getting pulled with
Yay.
113 pitches, a career high for himself.
Out. So what was Darren Erstad claim to fame?
I can't remember.
He was a punter on the Nebraska national championship team.
Oh, he played college football. I didn't know that. I knew he played baseball. He was a baseball player. I'd heard of him.
He was their punter.
That's interesting.
Hey, but I do want to throw in my opinion real quick, because I didn't say anything because I've been so locked into this game. I've been
I know.
I'm so sorry, guys. But no, Dodgers Phillies, there's one person that y'all also didn't mention, and he seems to come in clutch almost every time Philly needs him.
Sosa. What?
Schwarber
bombs.
No.
And
I
said,
when he's cold, he's mighty cold. When he's hot, he's hot. The problem with the Phillies, and I covered the Phillies all year. The problem with the Phillies is they're a home run hitting team. They are not. If they don't hit home runs, they're not going to score runs. And Schwarber was hardly anything during the end of the year. Harper was okay. Sosa carried that team at the end of the year when he filled in for Turner. That's the one guy on the bench the Dodgers better watch out for in this series. If they need a pinch hitter off the bench, watch out. You heard me.
I don't know. I just think at the end of the day, I think it's going to be real rough for the Dodgers. I think that's where we're going to end up choking.
I wouldn't say choke. You got the postseason. I don't consider anybody to choke in the postseason.
So, but
another guy. There's another guy the Braves are looking at too, Walt Weiss. By the way.
I saw that, and that I don't know about that one.
Guy's too lenient.
The Braves need a change, and you remember this year when earlier this year when Alex Anthopoulos had to start asking questions about the prospect of trading Chris Sale before the deadline.
Right.
I accidentally started that.
Oh, really? Wow. I wish
I was on a baseball podcast one night, and I was just talking about, we were just kind of spitballing ideas, and I was talking about why it would make sense, because with the fact that he has 2 years left in his contract, and they're not getting
fuck me. LA just put in Blake fucking Trinan.
Why am I surprised? Is there anybody on base?
They're just trying to make it interesting.
Fuck.
They're just trying to make it interesting.
Middle of the seventh, so nobody's on.
Oh, go ahead. Finish your story, because I just thought of something. Go ahead.
Detroit lost one of their rookies that was going to be. I'm trying to remember who it was.
Bert. I think it was Bert. That closer on Detroit.
No, the starter. There was a starter that they put in, or that they lost. Jackson Obi. Jackson Joby. Sorry, Jackson Joby. He went for Tommy John back in June. And so, because you're probably not going to see him most of next year, if you're Detroit and you trade for Chris Sale, you have him through the rest of the season. You have the playoff experience going into the postseason, which they could desperately use right now.
Yeah,
and then you have him all next year. Maybe if Jackson Joby's coming back, you use him as trade bait at the deadline, and you move on. Well, I said that on a podcast, and the guys that do one of the morning radio shows in Atlanta were watching, and they happened to have been having an interview that morning with Alex Anthopoulos, and they talked about it. And then once his interview got picked up by everybody else was talking about it. And I think Alex Anthopoulos was more the problem in Atlanta than Brian Stitker was, but that's for a different episode. What were you going to say?
There's one manager that should be fired that isn't on this list.
Who's that?
I want you to think about this. It's common sense if you think about it. One manager should be fired, and he's not.
I'm Josh Johnson, and I'll play 14.
Manager of the Astros?
Nope.
Aaron
Mets?
Boone.
He'll be fired regardless.
He's been after this. Unless they win the World Series, he's gone.
I think he's gone if they win the World Series.
I think he might. Yeah, he might anyway.
Regardless, but no, that's not the guy. But you're on the right track, though.
I think possibly them trying to think about.
Who's the Mets manager?
There you go.
Yeah, I was just saying. I guess I'm just thinking.
Why is he not
honestly,
fired?
I think you're 100% correct.
Why is he not fired? He's going to lose Alonso. He's going to lose the fan base if Alonso walks.
But that's not his fault. That's the front office's fault.
Yeah.
Because the problem with the Mets is Steve Cohen and the Mets front office tried to build a team like they were playing MLB The Show. They weren't worried about culture. They weren't worried about personality. They weren't worried about the environment of that team at all. They just slapped a bunch of stuff together, threw a bunch of checkbooks at it, and said, go away. And you can't build a functional team like that. This isn't MLB The Show. So me personally, if I'm Steve Cohen, I'm firing the front office first, just all of them, because they let it happen. Mm-hmm. And then you bring in a GM and you say, okay, we want to start rebuilding. Let's evaluate the coach this year. Say, hey, we need you to change things around, build a culture, get this, make this feel different, or you're not going to have a job at the end of the year. You just straight out tell them. There's no reason not to.
Bench coach is? You know who the bench coach is? Did you know this? John Gibbons is their bench coach. John Gibbons.
Really?
Yes.
That's interesting.
Former Blue Jay. Former Red Sox. Yep.
Yeah, former Red Sox. He's got great athlete.
I'll tell you right now,
athlete.
if I'm the Mets, I'm hiring him in a heartbeat. I would not think twice.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, guys. As everybody that's watching can see, 7-2 Dodgers in the bottom of the seventh, no outs. Definitely looks like that. I will be posting MLB Morning Minutes still every day on my TikTok page at FGD7. I'm going to start doing some live TikToks for the division round and for the championship series and the World Series. I will have more information on that probably as we get going with the division series. I'll post some stuff on the Wire to Wire and Sports Report pages. The last thing I wanted to throw out really quick, they announced the they have announced the schedule for
tomorrow
for game one for the ALDS. It'll be on Friday. The National League will be on TBS and like TBS, True TV, HBO Max, that sort of thing. And then the American League will be on, I believe it's going to be Fox. And Fox Sports.
Well, at least we don't have to hear Joe Clock.
Yeah, game two on Sunday. They don't have them announced officially for game ones, but game two on Sunday, October 5th. Both the games in Toronto and Seattle are going to be aired on Fox Sports 1. It'll
be the American League is on Fox. I'll say it because I saw somebody talking about that earlier.
Dave Roberts, he was pretty open about the fact.
Well, this is interesting. Then how did they in game 2?
Here tonight. So,
They're going back to back, like and
No,
everything.
no.
They,
Taking
hold
day
on,
off
hold on. I
travel?
just found the post from Major League Baseball.
but clearly, the Dodgers are still not taking it for granted this lead. They're moving runners over, sacrifice time.
Okay, so if the Yankees advance,
Climate
the Padres Cubs winner will play the Brewers at 2:08 Eastern on TBS, True TV, and HBO Max. Yankees and Blue Jays will be at 4:08 Eastern on Fox. Dodgers Phillies will be at 6:38 on TBS, and then Tigers Guardians, or the Tigers Guardians winner versus the Mariners is going to be at 8:38 Eastern on FS1.
There's the shadows.
If the Red Sox are the team that advanced, they will have the early slot. The Guardians will have that second slot, and then the Dodgers will have the primetime slot, and then the Padres Cubs will be the late slot. So there is that's what we're looking at right now. You can check MLB.com for more information on that. And thank you to Wire Network for allowing us to share in your space with putting on our show, talking some baseball. For my guests, I am Seven, your host of podcast named Deferred. Please support Wire Network. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Shows every day, morning and evening, hosted by individuals that know what they're talking about and love to be able to provide you with information. We appreciate you coming to support us tonight. Have a great night, everybody.